How's it going, everyone? It's been probably about like 6 months since our last update video for the whole community. After posting the birthday celebration update video, iPod, I and a few others started really working on the only RP server again and trying to get that up and going. And we were pretty much on about 80% done. And just with GTA was supposed to come out in February, and just kind of the vibe between us working on the server and just our friends and things like that really didn't seem like 5M would have been worth the time to keep working on the server and trying to get it going. Just to run a full RP server, it requires a good starting pop, and we just don't really have that. So kind of stopped development on that, and we just kind of wanted to go see what else we can do. Also, just kind of take a break because we non-stop working on the server that long, and then just kind of just halt work on it. We just kind of got burnt out, and other games came out. I really got heavily into Battlefield 6 and some other games, and just playing those, and just kind of enjoying my time and not have to just hyper focus and try to worry about getting the server up and running. And just talking with another server owner and whatnot, and him seeing what like we had script wise and stuff, he brought up the idea that we should start a prison sim. He's like, you have everything there. It's a small knit little thing where you don't need a high starting pop, and it's can be really a fun little neat idea to do. And he was like, that was my original idea, was to do a prison sim and not a full RP server, but then I just scrapped the idea. So iPod and I think Charles was in the VC when when we were talking to him, and Charles really liked the idea. So I kind of ran it by iPod and Chosen and Terrence and a few others, and kind of see their thoughts on it as well, because I just didn't really know how well a prison sim would work. I mean, being locked to one kind of location and whatnot, how would that work? How would we make it a fun and enjoyable experience to just be a lifer in prison? And we have a few ideas and things, and you'll see these ideas as we go into development, as I'm bringing back the dev blogs as we are working on the server. I will keep posting like updates and kind of showing what we're working on, what's being added, how certain scripts work. But what's shown in the video is just going to be a demo, and how it works in the actual server live is going to be completely different. That was one of my problems in the past with the dev logs, was really gave a lot of information and kind of spoiled slash metagamed, where people used it for metagaming reasons to get that stuff going and figure it out. So I kind of shied away from the devlogs for a while, but I want to bring those back and bring you into the development so you can see what we're working on and get your ideas and inputs and things like that for changes. But I have a whole lot of different ideas for the prison sim. We're not just going to be locked down into this location, because I want to take like inmate work crews out and have like you pick up trash and things on the side of the road, but also have ways for maybe an inmate to go sneak off and go grab some contraband real quick and bring it back into the prison. Because we want to have the whole drugs, we want to have the toilet, wine hooch, or whatever you want to call it. A whole like commissary system where you can buy food and go back to your pod, your dorm, whatever you want to call it, your cell, and make different food out of that, different spreads and things. So just have a lot of different like ideas. And the whole escaping, we don't really know how the escape's going to work. Like, we want it to be a thing because we want that to work towards the whole part of the overarch of the story for people, is to be able to find a way out to escape. But more or less, it's probably going to be a community like event maybe at this time. I don't really know. I mean, that's way down the road, because it's going to be like a lot of planning and putting things together to make the escape work anyways, and collecting resources to build different materials and stuff. But we already have a few scripts, so it's kind of easy to get into it. So the dev blog will kind of be over all kind of idea, what we already kind of have and planned. The map we're going to be using is the Bolingbroke Prison from Prompt Mods. We had a vote. We had a vote in the Discord on what map we wanted to use. And throughout this development, we're going to keep putting polls in here to kind of get different ideas and people's input on what we should do or use or whatnot for the prison. So we're looking at the Bolingbroke prison map or Alcatraz. More or less, it was a tie. I know this is 5-3, but I messaged other people and kind of got their input, so it bumped both these up. Pretty much was a coin flip. But just thinking about it and just the ideas that we already kind of had, Alcatraz really wouldn't have worked, because you're on a tiny little island out in the middle of the ocean, and to have work crews that's putting them on a barge and taking a boat back to the mainland and then getting a vehicle, so it was a lot more complicated extra steps on that. So ended up just going with the Bolingbroke prison. And the prison map is pretty big. We have 3 cell blocks, then we have a work area, there's the cafeteria, there's the yard, of course. There's a lot of different sections to the prison that we can use and shape for what we want it to be. So we had that poll, and then we have this prison sim script, which we'll get into that in the dev blog as well. There's also some information about what the other ideas are for different servers. But currently have this poll up, and right now mixed housing is winning, because that was the issue. I didn't really think about it with it. Is most prisons, well, all prisons, as far as I'm aware, don't do housing of male and female inmates. It's either just a female prison or it's a male prison. And I don't want to limit RP. I don't want to take RP away from people. Because I know there's females that play the game and they would like to be a female inmate and not just have to be a CO or prison guard, whatever you want to call them. And so kind of put up to a poll to see about mixed housing. And right now it's winning. And kind of the idea of how to make that work is, since we have 3 cell blocks, 1 cell block will just be females only. And then just the yard, the work areas, and like the cafeteria, like those would be like shared. But we'll have like certain server rules and then policy rules in city. So there'll be 2 different sections for like people have to follow. Because one, they wouldn't house people that know each other from the streets, outside world, whatnot, or that were in the same gang crew that ran together and committed crimes together. You would be separated there. So going into it, you don't know any other inmates in the facility. So, and then policy-wise would be, no mingling and hanging out with each other and things like that. So still figuring out a lot of things to how that was going to work, but always looking for more feedback. This poll has 5 days left, but just because this poll's closed and any other polls we open up closes doesn't mean we can't talk about it and shape and change things and figure things out. Alright, so that should wrap up this video. In closing, just kind of wanted to give you a little over idea what kind of the idea behind the little teaser trailer was from the other day that I posted. Also working on some ARK Survival Ascended servers. We have like 5 of them up. They're all clustered together. One of the servers is a VIP server. never really played Ark. More or less, my cousin needed a server for him and his friends to play on, so figured I'd spin up some servers for him and open up to the public so they have more people to interact with and play with and things like that, so they're not bored there. We have a lot more coming to the community, and not only just with this Prison Sim server, have some other like 5M Ideas servers that I want to kind of do with racing and the car scene, car culture, but we'll get into that more later on down the road. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.